Over the weekend, my 4-year-old granddaughter asked me why she couldn't see God. I tried to explain to her that there's seeing, and then there is seeing. While you may not be able to see God right now either, thanks for joining me. Welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. You know, this is the top spot on the internet for coffee with a cleric. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share this with a friend. You know, I remember looking at photographs of the Grand Canyon in the United States before our family took a trip there. I mean, they were lovely, detailed pictures. And if someone had asked me if I'd ever seen the Grand Canyon at that point, I'd likely have replied that, well, I've seen pictures, but I hadn't seen it in real life yet. Well, let me tell you, seeing pictures of the Grand Canyon is nothing like actually seeing the Grand Canyon in real life. There's just no comparison. The size and the grandeur of the canyon are literally breathtaking and awe-inspiring in ways that photos just simply can't even prepare you for. First of all, it's far too large to even begin to see the entire Grand Canyon at once. I mean, it extends beyond the horizon in multiple directions and is deeper than your eyes can penetrate, with walls and shadows that create marvelous images. Now, you may think you know what you'll see, but nothing you can look at or read can fully prepare you for the actual experience. And even actually seeing the Grand Canyon isn't really seeing the Grand Canyon, because it's just massive. Seeing God is like that. Yeah, there may be aspects of him and his magnificence that he reveals. Moses had that experience on Mount Horeb. But even Moses couldn't truly see God in his fullness and total magnificence. Peter, James, and John, they all saw an aspect of Christ's glory while they were with him on the Mount of Transfiguration. But they didn't behold his full glory and majesty. Whatever small glimpses or aspects God chooses to reveal, however miraculous and majestic his revelation may be, no one can say they have truly, fully, and completely seen God. Because there's seeing, then there is seeing. And then along comes John the apostle that Jesus loved. He was even one of those 3 people up on the Mount of Transfiguration. John knew what he had seen on the mountain. And he was the same one who received the heavenly visions on the Isle of Patmos that became the book that we now know as the Revelation of Jesus Christ. I mean, John knew what he had seen on the mountain. And this is the same John who writes today's verse. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, his love is made complete in us. Well, if anyone knew he had seen God, it was John. I mean, he'd even been in the upper room when Thomas declared to Jesus, "My Lord and my God." He knew that Jesus hadn't corrected the statement. He'd commended Thomas for his faith. But John knew there's seeing, and then there's seeing. John knew that while he may have seen God, there was no way he had seen God. So I find it fascinating that it's John, of all people, who introduces this concept of God's love being made complete in us as we love one another. And it's John who ties it to seeing God. So here's the Bishop Robert translation of what I think when he tells us no one has seen God, but we love one another, and when we do, his love is made complete in us. So here we go. The Bishop Robert translation. No one has fully seen God, ever. I haven't, and you won't. At least, not on this side of glory. But if you want to see the most complete picture you can get of God, just look at his people as they live out the love he's placed in their hearts. That's where you'll see God. And what you see ought to make you hungry and thirsty for more of that love. Getting the opportunity to see God as his love is lived out on earth, well, that ought to make you absolutely yearn to see God in every way possible, whatever the cost. When you see God lived out, it should compel you to want to see God face to face. That's our job as people who claim to believe in Christ. To love one another so well and so fully that people can see God as they look at our lives. So when you look at my life, I've got one very important question. Can you see God? Well, before we run out of time, let me ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew. Then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Would you mind clicking like on this video? Really does help people see it. Also, click subscribe. That way you and I can get together every day. Hey, one more thing before you go. Take a minute. Share this video with a friend. Because as you do, that makes you part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.